welcome back to Get Sassy. I'm Samantha Goldberg, your host, and today we have a lot in store for you. In fact, the next 3 weeks we have a lot in store for you. We are going to talk about the reality world. I'm going to add some bridal stuff into it because you know I love it. But I'm most excited today. There's always a lot of talk about gossip, and certainly we all know it very well from Jerseylicious. We're here with, in my opinion, the star of the salon and the star of the show, with Gayle. Gayle is a part of Gatsby Salon. There really is a Gatsby Salon, guys. It's not just for TV.
Welcome to the Gatsby Salon in Greenbrook, New Jersey. Don't recognize it yet? You probably soon will, as a setting for the Style Network's newest reality show, Jerseylicious. The stars of the show are salon owner Gayle Giacomo, who took over the place after her husband died a decade ago, and her daughter, Kristy. The two auditioned last year in hopes of scoring free publicity for the salon.
We went for lunch in the city and did the interview, never thinking
that we were going to get it.
And it happened.
Who would ever think at this point in our lives that we would be on TV? I wouldn't.
But if you think you're going to find a show about the world of hairstyling, you're wrong. Much of Jerseylicious centers around the rivalry between two of the salon's newest hires, Tracy DeMarco, the ultra-competitive stylist, and Olivia Blythe-Sharp, the makeup artist who can't stop partying. Think catfights, and then maybe some more catfights. But just how much of it is real? Well, that's debatable.
I mean, usually on an everyday basis. I mean, we come to work, we do our clients, you know, do what we got to do, and we go home.
Yes, it's not that much. I mean, something that could be crazy is on a Saturday, and we have 2 people call out sick that have full books.
Most of the filming was actually done at night, and while the show would have you believe there are only 5 employees, none of whom were actually there on a recent visit, strangely enough, there are actually more than 40.
Yeah, there's a lot of us actually. Assistants, nails, hair, so there's a lot more than it looks.
But some employees are still holding out hope they'll be cast as party girls the next time around, if there's a season 2.
Yeah, I don't know, my hair's not big enough. I do have big nails though. That's good. Jersey nails.
No, I can't really go out yet because I'm only 19, but when I turn 21, I will be. I'll go out.
And it's a beautiful location. I'm going to bring Gayle in here in a minute and talk about the history of the network and forget the noise. And this is what happens in real life. So we're not going to edit any of this out. We want you guys to see it whole front on. And if you ever have any questions, once we have it lifted up to the website, SamanthaGoldberg.com, let us know. We'll pass it on to Gayle, and we'll answer some on TV. So again, Gayle, welcome to the show, and thank you for having us. I know it was kind of like a last-minute thing, but
no, it was great. I just, really, to be very honest, I don't watch any TV, so you know. So when I heard about it,
garbage.
I'm bad. I'm not a big TV goer, so you know. So for me, I was like, okay, who is she? What's going on? I had no idea. I apologize.
Most people don't know me unless they know weddings.
Okay.
And for me, it's funny because I don't watch.
I had 3, so.
Exactly, right?
I should know them.
3 times start. You still married?
No.
Oh, that's how it's supposed to work out.
I know, it didn't.
1, 2, 3.
No, unfortunately, didn't.
No.
No.
Anybody now?
No, I can't find anybody.
Yeah, I know how that is.
It's very hard.
All the single ladies out there, all the single men out there. Daddy, there are guys out there. I think there are good guys. We just have to look younger.
I know, I haven't found
because they haven't had 3 weddings yet. Right? Or is it so? There's a Britney Spears. Oops, I didn't say that. Oh, sorry. Anyway, so I'm so glad that we're here, but I want to hear the story about Gatsby's because as I was telling you before we started the interview, I came here for a haircut. I was pregnant at the time. I just moved out here, and I always thought the ladies there are so nice. And I had brown hair, not this fake stuff.
Oh, well, I'm very fake, so.
I know, but fake is good.
You have to be fake.
Mysterious, right?
Yes, and I love redheads.
I think redheads get it done. Brunettes get it done. They say blondes have more fun. I don't agree with that.
No, I think redheads, because there's not that many people out there that can wear red hair.
We don't get questioned about the carpet and the drapes. We don't. We don't. But the blondes do. You guys with the blonde hair, you're not all real. And you're not Jewish in blonde hair. Not for real. No. So tell us about the salon. Now, your husband started this,
yes.
Named Gatsby's. Like, how did you get to that? I want to hear all about it. So, to the best of your recollection, please.
Right. Well, I worked for my husband at the time when he was opening up this salon. but we weren't married, obviously. He liked the Gatsby era.
Yeah.
So that's why he chose the name. He loved the hair, he loved the clothes, he liked everything about the fashion of that era. The salon started in 1976.
Well, it does not look the same.
No, well, we started a couple stores down.
You had a big one.
Yes.
Big, I remember.
Yes, it was 5,000 square feet, but that happened within the years of, when we first started it was only 2,500, and then we went larger and larger. Unfortunately, he passed away in 1998.
It's a heart attack, right?
Yes, he had a massive heart attack, and I was in the middle of remodeling then with him.
Oof.
So that was very, very
really hard for you.
Yes, it was. Well, it was tragic because obviously he was not a sick man. We didn't think he was.
Just kind of happened out of nowhere.
Right. He wasn't the kind of guy that went to the doctors or any of that. So he had clogged arteries, but we didn't know. And
I'm eating all that delicious food out here.
Yeah, right. not eating properly, really. He was not a good eater.
Dad, if you're watching this, yeah, he's got more stents than a railroad, my father. He refuses to give in. What can I do?
Wow.
They must know something we don't.
So, anyway, with the salon, after he passed, we finished the remodeling. And once I was up for remodeling again, because I do it every 10 years, I said, you know what, there's so much wasted space. I feel like there was just, when he did it, he would just say, oh, let's put this here and do that. He never really did it with an architect and really figured it out. So what I did was, I wanted to figure out for what we needed, let's work with that amount of space. No dead space, especially in this economy. We can't afford.
You don't want to have dead space. It's not worth it.
You can't afford it. You can't survive.
And so it looks better when you design. At least from my standpoint, that's what I do for a living. So I used to design salons.
Oh, you did?
Well, I worked with Belvedere when they had those little things.
Who didn't you work for?
Well, you know, if you work with a distributorship, you're working with everybody underneath it. So yeah, I have all the different brands, but I remember doing this and I had so much fun.
Oh God, yeah.
But you
spending other people's money, it's fabulous.
I love spending other people's money. Shh, my husband there. I'll spend his money too. He just doesn't know it. I don't know.
I know. We hide it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I did that for years too.
We have to show them that we're getting a deal. So you don't want to bite out on sale. If you get a deal and you say, well, I saved 20%. Okay, well, where's the 20%? Well, I used that, what I saved, to buy something else. Exactly. That's typical for a woman, isn't it?
But that's why we work, so we don't have to answer to anyone.
That's the first time I've heard somebody say that. I, for a long time, have been very independent. Ever since I was yay high. And I don't want to ask somebody for things. I like the kind of the Helen Reddy, hear me roar kind of person, where I'm like, if I want to buy something, I'm going to buy it.
Right. And that's why I don't mind working. I enjoy working, number one, and I like being independent.
And you're behind the chair here still, right?
Well, right. What happened was during filming, I had to stop because...
I kind of figured you'd run.
Well, because you run at a drop of a hat. You know, they email you the night before at 1 o'clock in the morning and say, we need you at such and such a place. So out of the courtesy to my clientele, I couldn't do that to them anymore. So I gave it all to my other girls.
Sure.
And now that the show is, I'm assuming, over, even though we haven't got the red light yet.
I'm going to hold up on you for 1 second. We're going to go into commercial break, and then when we get back, I want you guys to keep wondering, is the show really over? We're going to go into a commercial break. We'll be back in 5.
You would not believe the motherlode I just dropped. And that's how I like to keep it, leaving not a trace that I was ever here, let alone that I just birthed a creamy behemoth from my cavernous bowels.
Nothing is worse than stinking up the shared toilet at work, or the toilet at a party, or your lover's apartment.
Of course, flushing removes the graphic evidence. Maybe 2 or 3 flushes if your skid marks are as tenacious as mine. But what can be done of that subtle scent of a
300-cow dairy farm? Aerosol air fresheners aren't the most effective option, or the healthiest. Trying to mask the stench, giving you a nice blend of ChemLab carnations with just a touch of feces. So, how do you make the world believe your poop doesn't stink? Or in fact that you never poop at all? Poopery. Poopery is the before-you-go toilet spray that has proven to trap those embarrassing odors at the source and save relationships.
Simply spritz poopery in the bowl to create a film on the water's surface that actually traps the odours in their porcelain prison. And when your little astronauts splash down and make contact with the film, they release poopery's pleasant aromas, so all those around you can smell as a refreshing bouquet of essential oils. Yes, it is a real product. And yes, it really works. We've sold over 4 million bottles. On Amazon alone, there are over 1,000 reviews rating it 4.8 of 5 stars. That's a better Amazon rating than the iPhone 5. If it doesn't completely stop your stench from spreading, send it back for a full refund. Our unconditional stink-free guarantee. If your poo stinks, click here to get your poopery today at poopery.com. So whether you need to pinch a loaf at work, cut a rope at a party, or lay a brick at your boyfriend's, your days of embarrassing smells or prairie dogging it are over. Poopery. Our business is to make it smell like your business never even happened.
Hi guys, welcome back. As you heard before we went to commercial break, we were talking with Gayle from Jersey. We're here at the Gatsby Salon, and we're getting lots of good gossip and learning about it more from the outside in, which is not generally what you learn when you're watching reality shows. Obviously, you guys know me. I've been on TV forever, showing my dirty laundry to thousands and millions of people out there. And of course, it obviously is interesting because I'm still on TV. Gayle, so let's talk a little bit more about when we left for commercial break. We talked about that you were not sure of where Jersey is, because of course, for those of you who haven't watched the whole show the whole time or don't know what's going on, the Style Network is gone. It's exploded. It's just gone, and all the shows have either been bought out by other networks or just gone. You're in limbo right now. So now. We were saying commercial. You said there's other countries that are watching the show. You don't even know because you don't get a chance to.
No, we don't preview anything. You know, we don't have that right of any sort. So
you give up all your rights, right?
Yes,
it's like
everything.
Signing your life away.
Yes, which
that's too much.
You know, my lawyer told me that, but I was like, don't worry about it. This isn't going to be for long. You know. Who knew?
Did you think when you started, how long did you think, because it was kind of goofy, right? And the very first show, I was outside, so I remember.
You know what, when I first got the contract and I brought it to my lawyer, he was like, Gayle, you know, I don't like this, I don't like that, blah, and he's going through it, and I'm like, don't worry about it. He goes, what do you mean don't worry about it? I said, well, it's not going to be on long. I said, what can they really film here? But I didn't know that it wouldn't be really of my life. I thought it was going to be about my life. That's what I thought.
It was going to be about the salon itself.
My salon.
And that's the premise of what they had said, too.
Right, and because they were saying in the contract, we have the right to come in your bedroom and all this. So I'm thinking, that's reality. Like, they're allowed to come wherever they wanted to.
Come in your bedroom with.
But I knew they wouldn't because I wouldn't let them. But I was just thinking.
They'd be allowed to come in your. You could say no.
Yes, of course. But you know, when you read that, you're really thinking, this is going to be real. So I thought.
Were you disappointed?
Well,
for that, not for the. I mean, obviously the show was successful, but
yes.
Are you disappointed that it wasn't about your life and that it wasn't about the salon? Because you do have a lot of history here.
Yes.
And so, was that a disappointment for you a little bit?
Well, for me personally, the reason why I did the show is when my husband was.
Too, right?
What?
For business.
Yes, for business. And my husband, all his life, well, not all his life, but the whole time he owned the salon, he always did infomercials. Like half hour.
Right, I remember this.
Yes. So he loved it, and he loved being on TV. I would never go on. I was always like behind the scenes or whatever.
Give it or take it.
Yeah, it didn't do anything for me. It didn't excite me, but it truly excited him. So when I was approached, I thought, you know, Danny would want me to do this, and, you know, it's such a great opportunity, and so on and so forth, so I said yes. Then as we went on, and I realized that unfortunately, it really wasn't about what Gatsby totally stands for.
And you're like in your head thinking, this is not what he would want.
No.
Right?
Well, you know what? I knowing my husband, he would have ran right with it. He would have loved it.
Oh, yeah.
He was crazy, and he would have probably went along with all of it, you know, because he was nuts. Oh, God, yeah, he was
That's a very
nuts.
happy-go-lucky guy, right?
Oh, yes. He just had a way about him. He won over everybody. So I knew he would be fine with it. Me, I'm a little more backwards and quiet. And
that's what it takes.
Yeah, I
Even
think
in
that's
the
why we were
salon
so
industry.
successful.
Was he your soulmate, would you say? Like he just, you connected because you weren't married when you...
We connected on a business level, you know.
That's nice.
I really did look up to him. He was an unbelievable hairdresser. I feel that if he was alive today, he would have been well known like everybody else is today.
Like a celebrity stylist.
Yes. But in that time, it was more about competitions and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was very well known for that because he was all over the place winning first place.
Yeah.
You know, so he was fabulous. But for me, with the reality show, it was just a little hard sometimes to swallow because I just didn't feel like it really betrayed who I am and what my business is. Even though it was a success in so many other different ways.
What was your first reaction the first show you saw? I gotta tell you, I'm dying to hear what her thoughts are because I remember being in your position and watching and saying,
I couldn't believe it.
God.
I couldn't believe, see, I knew nothing about filming or anything, and I never knew.
Snip, snip, snip.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes they would have me saying things that I never remember saying.
You did say, you just probably didn't say it in that exact moment.
Exactly. And I've learned that. So now when I used to film, I used to try to be so careful on what I said so they couldn't use that word again in something bad.
No, you would never want to do that. And also to keep in mind, they do have the ability to cut and paste.
Oh,
and I remember
know.
saying, with certain clients and Style Network, I was working and trying to design a room, and of course, I would make a weird face, but it wasn't a weird face towards what they were doing. It was a weird face towards that room. And yeah, then they tell you, don't read the message boards. Don't do that. I'm like, why not? Don't read it. I'm like, oh God, everybody hates me. Oh my God, that's my business is over.
No.
What was your, I noticed, you know, again, I do not have time to sit and read, you know, I've got a gazillion things going on right now, but do you remember reading some of the chat boards and seeing what people are saying about the characters in the show, yourself, and negativity? What was your first thought about the negativity being said? Like there were people that were, obviously, you know, there are characters on the show who are highly beat up. Mm-hmm. And I can understand why in real life. Mm-hmm. But what was the first thing you read that you were like, oh my God, I'm not that person. They misunderstood me. That's not what I did.
Well, when I did interviews or anything like that, I was very, very conscious of what I said.
But you were always very cool.
Right, and I try to, you know, show everybody that who I really am and what my business means to me, because it's not a joke. I would never allow any of that craziness to be in business. I mean, for me to do something like that in real life, I wouldn't be in business for over 36 years. So
the salon industry is not that way.
No. So, I mean, you know, people around here, I think they recognize it, but people that don't know me could have thought that I really ran the salon like that.
They might say, you know, I would fire people like those girls, or...
Right, like, why wouldn't you fire them? I mean, come on, real life, I wouldn't be still here, you know, if that really happened.
Now, we're going to actually get ready to go into commercial break again, but before we do, and I love leaving you guys on a cliffhanger. Anybody at the salon here that actually, besides your daughter, that actually worked here, or staff that really does work here for real in real life? And we're going to go to commercial break. We'll see you back in 5. Hi guys, welcome back. As you know, I love leaving you guys on a cliffhanger, and we're here with Gayle, and she was just about to tell us about who really works at Gatsby Salon. Is it really a salon? From what I can tell, and from what I know, this salon is gorgeous, and it's even more gorgeous today than it was 10 years ago when I came here. Gayle, fill us in with the gossip. So you work here. We know you're here. You're here. This is a real salon, and you know, guys, there's no drama going on here. You can hear it in the background. This is a very well-run salon. Tell us what happens. Jersey staff comes in here. We'll get into more of the show and where it is at that point later, but I want to know what obviously this is nice. This is very nice.
Thank you.
So what's going on now? Who works here? Because Anthony has his own salon.
Yes, Anthony has his own salon.
That was on hold, and that's why he took this position, because his salon was being worked at. He had some of his clients coming here, right? Right? Okay, she got tell us. We're so excited. This is good.
Okay. Well, really, nobody that was on the show really works for me.
Were they licensed?
They were licensed,
they are
yes,
licensed?
yes.
Okay.
Because that was a big thing for me, because even though it's a show,
you still
I didn't
make it look like not fake, like a
yeah, but
yeah.
On the point of with the state too, I wouldn't want anybody working here on TV that didn't have a state license. I mean, that's not good for me.
Well, you have to admit, there's a lot of salons in New Jersey and different places, not just New Jersey, that you kind of wonder, how did they get that certificate of cosmetology?
I know.
Did they go on the casting couch, or
yeah,
right?
I know. It's sad.
It is sad because you know, if you're going to not be licensed, then it should be maybe somebody in training, because I don't know, again, the laws are very different in Illinois. You don't need to be licensed to be a makeup artist, and for a long time you didn't have to be licensed for nails as a nail tech.
Really?
Oh yeah, and an esthetician, they didn't even have that, so you had your your cosmetologist, and then 750 hours to get your aesthetics license. So
right.
Things have changed. That's the business I came from, and I do know it well, and so it's a lot. The laws, even in New Jersey, I don't even know about the implements in Illinois. They cannot cut your cuticles. They're not allowed to do that.
Okay, they're not allowed to use anything to shave the bottom of the feet.
Right, that's one thing. But they're saying the cuticle nippers. Like,
no, we're allowed to use cuticle
we're
nippers.
Not in Illinois. You're not allowed to use those.
So what's a manicure? Just polish?
They push back. You're pushing back your cuticles.
Right.
You're soaking. You know, obviously you exfoliate. You're not doing the Credo on the feet.
Right.
You're doing those, but and if you are doing it, people are to bring in their own implements. So that's why they were selling them at salons.
Oh, see, here in Jersey, they were buying them, and then we would put them in little boxes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the same thing, but a lot of people are cautious from all the different funguses and people in the
I don't blame them.
AIDS era, all that stuff scared people up so much that that's what they were doing. So for those of you guys who are worried about it, you know, Barbicide, they have all kinds of the ultralight cleansers for bacteria, but bring in your own implements. I mean, that's the easiest way to talk about doing that. That solves the problems right there. So let's get back to this show.
Okay.
So now, talk to me a little bit more about. So really, nobody except for you and your daughter, right?
Work here.
And your grandmother.
Yes, I have 2 grandchildren.
I know, and that's probably about the only time I was watching around that time, and I did it because, again, Alexa, there's some people I was friendly with on the show. I did it out of respect because
because yes, of course.
I wanted to make sure that at least if they were asking me questions, I would be able to engage in some kind of conversation.
I never watched it after the first season. I never watched it.
I can understand why.
Yeah. Never watched it.
Yeah.
When we did our reunion shows, and then all of a sudden they would show us clips, I'd be like,
"Who is that?"
Wow.
Like, and then you critique yourself, right?
Oh, I won't watch it
look
because
at my
of that.
hair.
No.
Look at that makeup.
Look how old I look. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
I need surgery.
Yeah. That's a nice thing about HD television. High definition means high definition look in your wrinkles and all your age spots and stuff.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's really bad. I feel bad for the real stars out there that are on TV, and God bless them.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about having some people have in their spas? Now, do you just do hair here? Do you do massage? What?
No, we used to do massage. We don't do that anymore. That or skincare.
But just makeup, right? Still?
Yes, we do makeup. We do manis, pedis. We do the eyelash extensions. We do threading, and then everything with hair.
That threading.
That hurts.
That's a whole topic in itself. That's worse than a Brazilian. Oh no, it's not. No.
No, I think No, I think it's pretty bad threading. I'd rather get a Brazilian.
Really?
Yeah.
They make your feet go in all these weird
I know, you feel like an
positions.
idiot.
It's like, you know, hair yoga, kind of. And spreading your legs and most women don't even have sex that way.
I was just going to say that.
Right? It was true. My girlfriend said, you should go. I'm like, no. I tried it once. I think I scared everybody in the waiting area where we were in Chicago.
Screaming?
I screamed so loud. They're like, could you shut up?
The first time I got it, I thought I was going to pass out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
you got to
it's
take
horrible.
drugs before you do something like
Yes.
that. Oh, my goodness. So, now, has anyone ever requested, obviously people, I will tell you this, when the show started and it became this big hit, people used to just park in the lines here and watching everybody and across the street. They had to kick people out from across the street over there. And you had people sitting in the car waiting for sightings of certain people that work here. And we're going to get into that. I know there's a part 1, part 2 show that we're having here. But there's a couple of characters I'd like to talk a little more about, and I know that you're going to have some interesting answers for it, I can tell already.
I'm sure.
So, with that being said, I'm going to leave you guys on another cliffhanger. This is part 1 of part 2. We will see you tomorrow night, same time, 10 o'clock, to hear the rest of the Gatsby Salon, Jersey Delicious, and more about Gayle and Gatsby's. Have a great evening, you guys.